So recently, I've been getting more into the horror scene, more scary, like, horror on the internet. We're talking about like stories from like YouTube to manga to like all just types of scary shit. Watching more scary movies. Recently watching what's his name? Oh my gosh, the analog killer. I don't fucking remember. But today we're gonna be talking about Hideout. Hideout is a manga series that is only 10 chapters long. It is something that is, it's very scary, very gory, I would say. And if you are interested in like stuff like that, advisory warning, it's pretty gut wrenching, and there's some fucked up things in there. Also, this is a spoiler warning too. I always forget to put those. But Hideout, Hideout is where do I even start? Honestly, I think it's a really solid piece of like horror, psychological type of thriller type of, I wouldn't even say thriller, but it's like it just has a lot packed into it. Building upon like just the story going from when Sorichi, I'm saying his name right, Sorichi and his kind of wife, they're on the edge of getting a divorce. Mika, they're both they both have a son that passed away, and their son, it really impacted the family because he kind of basically did kill the son because he wasn't watching him, because he was basically, him and his wife, they're dealing with a relationship that is kind of like down the fucking drenches right now. So he decides to like drive her in the middle of the woods and try to, and it's like, bro, are you fucking crazy, bro? Like, the concept of this shit is like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, bro, fucking crazy. So he does this shit, and he obviously like he fails at it, and then this is where like the basis of the whole story comes in. I don't, I want to review it more, but okay, fuck. But basically, they find this fucking cave, and this cave has like, it's just a fucking cave, and it never ends. It's just a cave of like never endingness, and I think the cave is supposed to represent like, a family bloodline never ends. That connection to your family never ends, because to represent a man with high family values trying to preserve what he has within his family. That's kind of how I family in a very unhealthy way, and I feel like this story like perfectly touches those lines. End up finding like this little kid who's like, oh my gosh, mommy, and it's like, bro, who the fuck are you, little boy? But no, it's this little kid, and he's trying to like find his mommy. His mommy's like in there, and she's a different person. She's locked up in herself. But then you have this old man, this fucking old man. He's there. He's like, he's fucking hunting Sorichi down. And this is where like the best panels come within the manga. This is where, even in the beginning of the story, they showed like the panel of him chained up. It's a good ass panel. He gets brought down into like this, torture room, and I feel like they could have did better with the torture scene. Like, I know it's kind of like a little messed up, but they could have did better with it. Like, yeah, they did have his I won't even call him his wife at this point, Mika. She comes into this room, and she's just like, yeah, get revenge. And she's getting her revenge, like she's getting her lick back, as she should, right? So it's like, she's doing what she intends, but then it's like the old man, he doesn't really, he just looks at him. They just fucking look at him weird. It's just, they're staring at this dude, and it's just like, okay, yeah, he I guess, he's on the chair. He hasn't been getting fed and shit. It's mentally draining for him. So it's kind of, oh my, fuck is that? It's already kind of like mentally draining for him. So I guess I kind of get that part, but it's like, bro, Like, come on, bro. They could have definitely added more. But, you know, he ends up escaping. Let's zoom forward. He ends up helping the kid find his mother. And then, you know, he ends up walking in on an old man, fucking his, you know, ex-wife or whatever. And, you know, it's at this point where it's like, okay, I get it. You know, you don't, you know, it's never justified that, you know, she doesn't have to like the husband or whatever. But she was the closest one to escaping, by the way. Mika, Miki, oh my, I can't say her fucking name. But she was the closest one to escaping, but, you know, she got, at the end, right when she seen the light or whatever, like, no escape, no, you don't leave. But, yeah, she gets Swiss cheese, and, you know, she could have helped with the fight a little bit. Like, you know, if you're, like, let's be honest, if you have, like, a fucking monster like that, you restrain him. Why are you letting him walk around loose? Like, you beat him. Like, you gotta understand, like, they dead ass could have escaped. It's like their mind, what the story added was, like, their mind warps into wanting to live in this place forever. At least, like, the dude, like, I don't know, I have to, like, touch on that later, but, like, you know, they could have fucking restrained the old man. You know, that would have been an easy solution. You know, he probably, you know, he has plot armor to maybe get out, but, like, just finish him then. There's literally nothing stopping you. You know this guy's already fucking broken. He literally could take a full grown man at his old age, bro. So you already know what the deal is. But let me wrap this up. So basically, you know, old man and Sorichi both get in a fight. You know, big fight, and I guess, you know, old man gets fucking body destroyed. And, you know, he ends up helping his kid find his mother again. And he's like, oh, we're a family now. And they end up fucking staying there. And it's like, huh? You're and it's basically this repeating loop of they don't want to leave. Like, they already have everything that they need there, apparently. You know, except light. It's a repeating cycle. And honestly, I feel like this story is just, you know, it's good because it fits the element. It fits, like, not wanting your family to be in danger, but it definitely has a lot of positive elements. And, you know, to, like, give it an overall review, I feel like the story definitely, you know, it flows very well. The art is very good. I wish there was a bit more, like, torturous elements with, you know, Sorichi in the fucking room when the old man gets him. I feel like overall, though, really well-rounded story. Honestly, I'm going to give Hideout I'm gonna be really respectful. I'm gonna give Hideout a 9 out of 10. And now, you know, I might do other reviews on this channel. Maybe I'll do, like, a tier list one day, but I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 because it just, you know, it's a good story. It doesn't drag on, you know, it doesn't do too much shit. It has the right amount of action, the right amount of words. It's not terrible. Like, it's awesome. It's a great piece of fiction. Great piece. I think you should check it out if if you're above the age of 18, or if you like horror and stuff and you can stomach, like, gory, then try it. If you read Berserk, try it. But honestly, yeah, great piece of art. Whoever made it, great job. But yeah, thanks for watching.